long day already. You all right, Joe? Let me start by saying good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you so very much for being here with us today. As most of you know, this has been quite a long and at times a difficult week for our great city of Philadelphia. But as you have heard me say repeatedly in recent days, I am enormously proud of our Philadelphia Police Department, our Fire Department, our Office of Emergency Management, and quite frankly, every first responder who responded to the tragedy in Northeast Philadelphia over the weekend. By that and the response that you've been able to witness, it is clear that public safety and health is the number one priority for the Parker administration and for our city. So we wanted to invite you here on today to briefly address some of the important public safety measures and tactics that our government will have in place this weekend during and after the Super Bowl. On today, you're going to hear from our Police Commissioner Bethel, our Fire Commissioner Thompson, and our OEM Director Dominic Morales shortly. And what they're going to do is they'll detail some of the steps that we're taking this weekend to ensure that Philadelphia remains a safe place to celebrate what we hope and pray. And, you know, you got to be feeling good because they've been doing the job, working extremely hard. What will be an Eagles victory? Before they speak, I want to highlight several messages as your mayor. The first one is, my hope is that we are all going to celebrate responsibly. We know that alcohol is involved in many Super Bowl watch parties and other things, but wherever you go, please celebrate responsibly on Sunday. Don't drink too much. Imbibing can lead people to make rash and poor decisions in how they celebrate, and we want to make sure that everyone celebrates responsibly. Second thing that's extremely important is that we should be respectful of others. When we win, right, and people will inevitably wind up on Broad Street or at Frankfurt and Cottman or wherever they go to celebrate, be respectful of our fellow Eagles fans. No fighting, please. No pushing and shoving. People can fall and literally hurt themselves. This next point is one that I want to be very emphatic about. Don't climb light poles or anything else. Please, Philadelphia, I implore you as your mayor, do not climb light poles or anything else. I know this comes up every time we have an outdoor celebration after our Philly teams win, and I get it. But folks, climbing or attempting to climb up a light pole or a bus shelter, or really any structure for that matter, it can lead to tragedy. We do not want anything to happen to any of you, your friends, or your family members. So for your mayor, please, just don't climb onto anything, okay? That's our golden rule. We want Sunday to be a joyous moment for Philadelphia. We all love our Philadelphia Eagles, and we all want to show our civic pride. But let's vow together to do so in a safe, respectful, and a responsible way. You're now going to hear from our police commissioner, followed by our fire commissioner, then our OEM director, Commissioner Bethel.
So thank you, Madam Mayor, and I just want to echo the words that the mayor just said. We encourage everyone to be responsible, that we know that there's going to be a lot of celebration after the Eagles win. Let that sit for a minute. But we also want you to do it in a responsible. We will have all hands on deck on Sunday. We will have staffing all the way through, so there will be closures, and I think that information will be going out shortly as part of this. On Broad Street, as we did for the NFC Championship, will be deployed along Broad Street. We'll have closures along Broad Street, extending all the way up north to Spring Garden Street, and in many cases in Center City, east and west parts of those streets. We will also have closures up in the northeast, just as we did for the NFC. We will have significant level of staffing. We're glad to be partnered with the fire department, but we'll also have state police on standby with us and supporting us in this endeavor. This is a significant endeavor for us to be able to accomplish this. And so we do encourage, we'll be working with SEPTA. I know the general manager is here as well. We will be making some closures. We're still refining that as we go through along the Broad Street subway as well as the Market and Frankfurt subway to control people coming out into that crowd. Became a great challenge for us last time. SEPTA was a great partner. We'll definitely be working with the Office of Emergency Management. We'll be fully operational, and we will have our tactical operation team inside of that space as well, working with Dom and his team to make sure we are having success. We will have our drones deployed with air coverage, as well as our state police and Philadelphia Police Department helicopters. Our goal is to make this a safe endeavor. But I would also say this, coming after the NFC and then the tragedy of last week, it has been one of the greatest challenges for both of our departments, the fire department, my department, OEM, and our partners across the city. But we were able this last week, under the leadership of this mayor, to be able to show the city who we are as a city. And it is our goal and our endeavor to show that same level of responsibility when we celebrate on Sunday. We can celebrate. We can have a great time. But we should not do it destroying our city. We should not do it, as the mayor said, we should never lose a life for somebody falling off a pole. An 18-year-old child lost his life that day, and that should never, ever happen. Let's celebrate. Let's have a good time. And at some point, we are going to shut this thing down because we do have to prepare for Monday's work week. So we are going to ask you to come celebrate. But I also say to be prepared at some point throughout the night as things start to dwindle down. You will see my team start to move forward so we can clear and get the cities and streets prepared for Monday. But we're going to look for a great time and great partnership, and we appreciate the support and leadership of the mayor. And more importantly, we want to thank SEPTA for not just what they're doing, but even helping us move our people around. I just want to say thank you for your constant support in that work. I'll turn it over to the Fire Commissioner.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to echo the sentiments of the mayor and the police commissioner, and that during this time when we are looking to enjoy Sunday's game and hopefully celebrate after we win, that we can all do this respectfully and safely. It's important. And the Philadelphia Fire Department is happy to always support any endeavors and efforts in the city. And our role will be to ensure safety for everyone. And we will do that by pre-positioning resources throughout the city, Center City, Frankfurt and Cottman, as well as other locations. We'll have EMS resources, as well as fire suppression resources, just to ensure everyone's safety. In addition to that, we will continue to cover the entire city to make sure everyone is safe, as we always do, 24/7, 365. At this time, I want to offer some fire safety tips to keep everyone safe as we enjoy Sunday's game. And the first thing is, I want to remind everyone to make sure you check your smoke alarms. Those are proven lifesavers, so make sure you have working smoke alarms. If you do not have one and are in need of one, please call 311 and we will install one for you. Cooking fires continue to be one of the major sources of fires in Philadelphia. So I want to give you a few tips on cooking safety. First, when you are cooking, you should be present. I understand sometimes you may want to run out to the store to pick up an extra ingredient, or you're busy trying to entertain at the same time. But we urge you to be present while you are cooking. We suggest that you finish cooking before your guests arrive so you can devote your full attention to cooking and to your guests on the appropriate time. Keep an eye on what you fry. Cooking grease, if it gets too hot, can ignite and become a fire, and we have a lot of fires that result as a result of cooking. Consider using a cooking timer to keep track of your cooking. Turn your handles towards the back of the stove for safety to prevent burns. Never use extension cords for cooking appliances. Also, when you are cooking, consider using short sleeves or rolling up your sleeves to prevent burns. Use mitts or pot holders also to prevent burns. Direct smokers to smoke outside. Be sure to supervise children and pets. Be mindful of decorations. Open flames. If you are using candles or fire pits, be sure to keep combustibles away from those open flames. And finally, we do want everyone to enjoy themselves, but do it safely. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilson. Good afternoon. The city's Office of Emergency Management, like the agencies up here, kind of a dual role. The first is around planning and operational coordination, a behind-the-scenes role. But then that second role is about public education and risk and being very clear about what that risk could mean for many different folks. And so first, on the public safety side, as you heard, our plan to celebrate responsibly has been being planned for several weeks. It's been refined off of several years of being able and fortunate to celebrate, but is very specific and intentional to focus on public safety, transportation, healthcare, commerce, and the community to ensure that we can enjoy that evening while still doing the essential things that we have to do. While someone who is welcoming perhaps their child for the first time and getting to the hospital can do that. And so we all have a responsibility to one another to make sure that we can enjoy while also make sure that essential services can go on. With that, you will hear about the road closures. I believe we have visuals. There will be road closures, as the commissioner said, in Center City. There will also be road closures up at Frankfurt and Cottman. And then last but not least, planned road closures in the area of 5 Points. As well, South Broad Street. And that'll stay fluid and dynamic, as the commissioner said. I want to be clear, there will be 60-plus personnel in the Emergency Operations Center from more than 24 city, state, federal, and non-governmental agencies that are watching this game and this event from every possible angle. That team is there to be dynamic and to respond to what we see, and frankly, to catch any behavior that we see so we can address it quickly. You will hear about SEPTA service here momentarily, but before that, put on my other hat and talk about personal risk and responsibility. Philly, let's act like we've been here before. Let's enjoy the moment and celebrate our birds responsibly. I want to raise up 3 key takeaways. A fall from a height of 6 foot can result in serious and permanent injury, disability, or death. Even going up 4 more feet to 10 feet, that risk increases exponentially. I will say the city's street lighting and other infrastructure is significantly higher than that. Doesn't matter if it's a light pole, a bus structure, if you're not on the ground, there is risk. Fireworks are explosives. Even when they are used safely, they can misdirect and they can malfunction. Those explosives can blind, they can blow off fingers, and they can kill. And some simple physics: what goes up must come down, and cars and crowds do not mix. And lastly, to our media colleagues, we have a shared responsibility. There is no glory about pole climbing or other dangerous behavior. We need to move past that. We need to look forward to cheering our team on, and when they win, celebrating as Philadelphians and coming out of a really intense week and recognizing some good across our city. That said, we will continue to share updates about the city's posture throughout the game. You can text READY-PHILA, that's READYPHILA, to 888-777. Invite SEPTA General Manager Scott Sauer. Thank you.
Thanks, Dominic. Thank you, Mayor Parker, for always including SEPTA when we're talking about these very important things. Obviously, a historic run by our Eagles, but always SEPTA will focus on providing a safe and secure environment for our customers. We'll take an all-hands-on-deck approach to Sunday, and even though the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, we know it's going to be a big day for the city. Safety and security is paramount. We will not put anyone in an unsafe situation. We will take our direction from law enforcement, from the Office of Emergency Management, SEPTA Transit Police will have an all-hands-on-deck approach to their deployment. We will have extra staff out at every station, ensuring that customers can navigate the system safely and efficiently. If you have concerns, please look for an officer or look for one of our employees. You can always reach our police department through our Transit Watch app, and of course by dialing 911. We'll work in close coordination with the city throughout the day on Sunday. We'll accommodate street closures. We'll have many bus detours. We encourage our customers to seek information through all of our channels, and I'll mention those. We will also be closing stations in Center City at the direction of local law enforcement to make sure that we don't put people into an unsafe situation. So the Broad Street Market Frankfurt lines, while they will continue to run, as will all of our services, please consider that there will be times when you will not be able to board or alight at particular stations in Center City. For all of our schedules and travel information, please visit our website at septa.org or download our official SEPTA app. We're going to make sure that all these online resources have up-to-the-minute information for our customers on all of our detours and any other service adjustments. Let's just have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Let's do it safely, travel safely.
Yes,
Thank you.
Matt. Thank you. Thank you all so very much for your subject matter expertise here. Talked to a parent last week who has said, she said, I get nervous every New Year's Eve, and whenever one of our sports teams wins, a big championship or a big game. Because, Dom, I think you said it, but I want to make sure people get it. You heard him mention that what goes up must come down. So, Commissioner, I think we did have an instance where someone shot a firearm in the air. That's not a harmless act. As a matter of fact, Commissioner, what occurs if you're caught shooting a firearm in the air?
Well, that individual was arrested. I mean, we recognize it's illegal to fire a firearm into the air as he did. And so we would discourage, and that was a rarity. So I will give our fans credit, though they oftentimes will do some crazy things. Firing a weapon in the air during a celebration was a rarity, but we were able to identify that person. So anyone caught doing that activity, and we have cameras throughout this entire process. We can see pretty much every level of the protest, and where we can't, we'll be able to bring our devices, whether our drones, into that space to be able to observe that. So we ask you to celebrate, but we have eyes on anyone out there who's engaging in negative behavior, particularly someone firing a weapon. And in that case, because of staffing, we weren't going in. We will be going in with the staffing levels we have on Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner, for affirming that. For about the fourth time, someone asked, and I just want to get these two things out because they asked us this when we had the previous press conference. Were we greasing the polls in the city of Philadelphia? And I think you heard our commissioner, and he affirmed that for public safety tactical reasons, we are not discussing it. But what we are doing is asking everyone to please do not climb polls. I'm excited. I love our Eagles. Let me see if I can get it right this time. EAGLES. I mean, so my son Langston, hopefully I got some street cred back, Langston, for that. People are saying, where are you and when are you heading out? As a result of sort of the week that we've had here in our city, I am going to be watching our Eagles right here in our great city of Philadelphia. We have a city to govern, a budget to get finalized for introduction very soon. And of course, we're still managing the city's response to the tragedy that occurred in Northeast Philadelphia. So the mayor's going to be in Philadelphia, and we're going to be together with staff and friends and family and supporters, and we're going to have a big party, and we're going to watch the Super Bowl together on Sunday night right here in Philadelphia, and we want everyone to have a good time while we're doing it. But my hope is that you will listen to, from SEPTA to our police commissioner, our fire commissioner, and our director of our Office of Emergency Management, and take their guidance. With that being said, I want to take any questions, if anyone. Lauren? No, I think Managing Director Teal did an amazing job at the town hall meeting we held last night, Lauren, and just affirming that while you may see the area contracting and getting smaller, and you will know it based on the barriers that you see, and then when we have the presence of our emergency management vehicle, or so the headquarters right there, you'll see that. So just govern yourselves accordingly. That's a really good question. You'll see what's sort of off with the barriers that are up, but nothing that would require us to stand up and give any direct guidance about how you should move about in that area. Just govern yourselves according to the public safety supports and measures and structures that are up and in existence. But that's a very good question, especially for people who are trying to maneuver in that area. Thank you for that. Yes, ma'am. Yes. I'm going to ask Dominic to come and share some comments.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the things you're asking about, the mayor's been very clear about being prepared, and preparedness is a standard operating procedure for every single one of us, and that first and foremost is safety, and then preservation of routine systems and business. And so there will be communications that are made to specific communities. I don't mean neighborhoods, but I mean business owners, or to our healthcare communities, or to folks who work on third shift and are going to have to navigate road closures, simply in the phase of preparedness. And we are very fortunate that under Commissioner Bethel's leadership, we have a business outreach function that coordinates in real time with particularly center city businesses, but even regional businesses, to give them on-the-ground details of what's occurring. But it is simply a preparedness measure to be ready, because we've been here before and we've seen crowds before. And so it's simply that. Thank you.
Thank you. No, but thank you for that. It's a very good question. Yes, sir.
So a couple of things. I mean, obviously, with the Super Bowl, we get a larger crowd. One thing we do have an advantage, if you recall, we have to cover two areas. We have to cover the arena, the stadium area, and downtown. So by not having an event up in South Philly, we're able to, even though we're going to have celebrations in South Philly, we're able to move those resources down into Center City. We're also able to bolster our resources because of the support of Colonel Paris and the state police. They will bring in almost 150 state troopers will be on location with us, which again frees us up to be much more agile in our activities. So those combined efforts, and unfortunately through our scheduling, we have specific days across our schedule when we have all of our staff are working, a large percentage of our staff are working. Fortunately, Sunday is one of those days. And so we'll be at one of our highest staffing levels in the city for that day, and we feel confident we'll have enough staff to be able to address the issues that we see.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. So most importantly for us is that for all Philadelphians and stakeholders, or residents in our 5-county area who come to celebrate here in Philadelphia, we want you to know that we are prepared, that we are ready, that Philadelphia's public safety and health, you are our number one priority, and we will govern ourselves accordingly. Our ask is that we have a good time. We are the best sports fans in the world, and I don't care where you go. Philadelphia has the best sports fans in the world. We just want to make sure that we do everything decently and in order. That's the message for today. Let's celebrate doing things decently and in order. Thank you all so very much for your time. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Don. Thank you so much.
Nice job, man. Nice job, Don.